The power of the site when we first visited was in the ocean, the forest and the sand dunes. Our thinking when we have elements as powerful and as elemental as that is to provide a building that doesn't challenge or reduce the sense of beauty that's already there naturally. My name is Tim Hay, Director at Fair&Hay Architects, and this is TRI Beach House. We're on the east coast of the North Island, approximately an hour and a half north of Auckland. One of the things that we were instantly taken to by the site was its interface between the ocean and the forest. So instantly we were sort of looking in terms of the architecture to references that related to those different thresholds. The ability to emerge from the forest, discover the ocean, but still have a sense of backing, a sense of protection and edge that contained the building. The fantastic thing about this project was that the client was also a design collaborator, and because of her experience in interiors and in her work, was able to jump in. One of the early discussions was the idea that there wouldn't necessarily be one singular structure. We really liked the idea of a series of buildings, and this idea of the cabin in the woods was an idea that stuck very early on.
My name is Sonia Hawkins and I am the interior designer and homeowner of TRI Beach House. When you're building from scratch, the temptation is always to incorporate everything that you dreamed of and that the budget allows for. But in this case, it was almost the opposite. We wanted a very simple dwelling that allowed us to live a simple life. So obviously a place to sleep, a place to eat, and good coffee were key to us. But beyond that, it was a place for family to gather and just to experience being outside and enjoying the environment. I was very open to the architectural intent, which was the farmhouse vernacular. As the designer and having ideas on the interior, it was something I knew I could work with and was excited to develop.
The organisation of the structures on the site start with a cabin that contains the garage and guest occupation that sits between an open space that frames a courtyard, and the main building that is set to the ocean is fundamentally a pair of master suites that capture an open plan living space between them. The silhouettes of the buildings from a distance are very simple, but the thing that we love about the project is as you move closer to the building, you understand that there is a sense of complexity. The shutters and the layering of enclosure, the way that the building dissolves, provides a sense of occupation and flexibility that we wanted for the lifestyle that we imagined the buildings would have. With our theme of the building set in the forest or the cabin in the woods, there was instantly this idea of materiality and translating the forest context into a timber structure. Inside we've taken the cedar as well, but provided a different treatment. It's oiled and it has a warmer, richer hue to it, to the weathered, silvered exterior. we developed that, we looked to include a breadth of other materials, and concrete was the counterpoint that we wanted to achieve to the timber. But the concrete also had a sense of decay. We didn't want to have concrete that was too slick, too urban. We wanted it to have a sense of time.
It was definitely the environment that inspired the interiors. I used both the ocean aspect and the forest within my thinking. So we've got a very natural palette inside, lots of warm, earthy tones. I've used the green of the forest. And then within that we have moments of darker elements, the painted kitchen cabinetry and some sculptural elements.
I think with most of our buildings we're always looking at the opportunity of how they breathe. And we're looking for where the predominant wind might come from, the opportunity of being able to ventilate the lee of the building, and then moderate that with elements like the shutters, which can temper the air movement as well. They can be pulled across a bedroom to provide a sense of breathing but reduction of light for an afternoon nap.
During the development of this project and meeting with Fair and Hay regularly, I came to think, well, how are we going to bring artists into the project and collaborate with artists, which is part of the joy of what I do. And I guess I had a light bulb moment where I thought, how amazing would it be to have a Lisa Reihana wallpaper within the house. Lisa created a piece that not only covered the wall but the doors that access those areas and minimise the impact of those doors.
The most rewarding part of designing a home like this is the relationships and results that we've achieved with a client and a collaborator, and feeling that it's moved from being a process of design and delivery and construction to fulfilling the lifestyle opportunities that we conceived together originally.
I think what I'm most proud of is how quietly the building sits within the environment. And it just feels so peaceful and so at home.
And that means a lot to us, that we're able to create spaces that have that sense of fit and ease with the occupants and people that discover.